Yeah, man. This is the Prester. The imaginary war between Prester John and Eldad the Danite and its real implications by Mika Perry. I never heard of this. Hey, this just in across the drop desk, man. This popped in my email, man. Literally as I was about to, preparing to drop this Prester 121. Hey, welcome to the 121st installment of the Prester John investigation. Let me clear my throat. Hey, you see it. I'm working my way back over to, where it all started. Rudolph Sanders, man. Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. But this document might, really give us a nice overview of some of the stuff that we've been dropping, since Prester 1. So I'm going to jump right into it, just see what this is talking about. Then I want to talk some high Amazon queens, man. I've been waiting to get back on the high Amazon queens, talk Amazon. We're going to see where that takes us, man. We're going to surf the wave, man, like we never surfed the wave before. The Water Drop Nation, the water to all the balcony surfers, man. The water to all the wave surfers, man. Every day choosing up, searching for HaWah and Khan Dawi, man. Because this is the search we're on. Hosea 3, right? One day, you will return, my naga. I think you have returned. I know you return. I know we have returned because we KTC. Hosea 3 verse 4, for the children of Israel shall sit solitary many days. Without no priest king, without no Prester John. Priest king means Prester John. It's Prester 121. Call me Hano. So, hey, the Wada, let's go, man. We've been solitary because we've been out of code. So we haven't had a king or Khan, Yeah, Israel wanted to be ruled like the other nations back in the King Saul days, and we got a king, and then we got a correction. We got someone that came with the Khan, came with the forever Khan. We're talking Khan David, King David. So, this is the way HaWah has always, whether, we did it on accident by asking for a king or, David, the frequency of David, Melchizedek, priest king. It goes back to the top, So they try to substitute this flow with Christ, their own anointed. But there's already an anointed. We're going to read Psalm 89 again. But Hosea 3 is very clear. And if the Christians had a scripture like this will be on every single bumper sticker on every car, going to church every day. They don't have any scripture saying that you're going to wake up, search for the Creator and Jesus Christ, right? Never. You don't never see that in the Tanakh. They call it the Old Testament. They call it old. And then they got a new hero, a new romance, and they replace the priest Khan, the forever Khan, the one shepherd. Ezekiel 34, Ezekiel 37, one shepherd. We on Prester 121, man. Like I said, man, call me Hano. Over 100 Prester Johns. I know I got some Prester packs to make up. We on Prester 3, Prester pack 3. All right, look out for it, man. Hey, straight up, man. So check it. You've been solitary, boss. You know what it feels like to be solitary, alone? We're going to look up some definitions. Love to Aqua Tapazame. Look out for the Soul Bone podcast. We in battle time. Ahab CJ battle. He did such an excellent work, man. We just did sort of a preview flow of the Soul Bone podcast, man. You can rock with us on IG. Just put in Soul Bone podcast. SOLBONE. SOLBONE. Top of the soul bone means like you raising your frequency, top of your soul, right? Your inner sun, right? Not their sun, your frequency, your fire, right? So, when you're in the top of that, you in Dracan mode. You're in American mode. You're in copper. You got the copper conductivity popping off. You got the frequency, man. Because you was just found here, boss, not brought here. Yeah, my bad. I'm going crazy, Ty, man. So we're going to talk some definitions, man. But they just gave us one, right? Where we at? Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, man. We had to start with nothing, with our eyes closed. With our eyes closed. We're talking frequency. We're talking energy. Hosea 3. Solitary. We're talking solitary. Slow it down for the Templar, man. You might hear my little homie popping off, man. He see it's 4 in the morning. It's 4 in the morning. I thought I had some quiet. I thought I had some solitary time. But shout to my kid, man. He's active, man, and he's definitely on kum. He's definitely on the top of the soul, bro. All right, man. So solitary. Oh yeah, solitary like top of the soul, right? The soul, boss. Nah, I ain't talking they Invictus. I'm talking our soul, our sun. They can't have the word sun. The sun is the sun. You are the son. We have the son. Israel is the son. Dawid's firstborn son. They can't have the son. We are the soul. They can't hijack our soul with their Invictus. Because we've been in solitary, boss. Living alone, without HaWah, not having company. They doubt that the Creator exists, even though they in the firmament, right? Under the firmament. So, hey, some of the more ferocious animals are solitary, seldom or never being found in flocks or herds. Yeah, thus the lion of Judah, is called a solitary animal. Whoa, this went a little deeper than we thought, right? Top of the soul. You in solitary? You in solitary, boss? You've been in solitary many days, Hosea 3 and 4. Hosea is Joshua, by the way. Same name, right? So, for the children of Israel shall sit solitary many days without a king, without a prince, without sacrifice, without pillar, without ephod, teraphim, any of your priestly things. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return. So after you've been in solitary, without your soul, without your fire, because, you've been living alone. You became alone, not by choice, because you've been playing the harlot, right? Yeah, let's take it back to verse 1, man. Get it for the Templar like it's the first time. Hey, out to the Templar, Irvin Reed, man. Make sure you're always in the classroom of the Templar, Irvin Reed. And HaWah said unto me, go yet love a woman, beloved of her friend, and an adulteress, even as HaWah loves the children of Israel, though they turn into other gods. This is why you're in solitary, boss. This is why you living alone. Not because you chose to live alone. HaWah didn't let you play the hoe no more. HaWah took away the harlots from you, and yet we still got the harlots running around in the churches today. Going after other gods in the mosque today, in the temples today. We most high over everything. Nothing in between us and our Creator. We don't worship nothing else. We don't venerate nothing else. We don't venerate King David, even though you're going to return. Seek the Creator. Because as soon as you return, you KTC, you seek. You desire HaWah. You meditate on the law. You meditate on the code. And then, my naga, once you get your frequency up, then you can also seek and desire the Khan, right? And this ain't just no man thing. David got a queen. So we're going to talk Sheba, right? We're going to talk Khalifa. We're going to talk the Amazon queens. Khan. And we're going to continue that talk because, a lot of information has been taken off the web, internet, the web, the World Wide Web. But I went ahead and, I got some information before they took some of these websites down. And love to Tracy Lett. I want to share some of Tracy Lett. Aqua. While we talking Queens, I got to big up Tracy Lett. She made so many PDFs for us. So I want to dig on those, man. Just, make sure you got the drop. So when you return, you seek the Creator, you seek Yahweh, not JC. There's not a scripture alive that tells you to wake up, seek the Creator, and JC. They had to invent a new test with a new hero and a new romance, man. Love to the Templar. That, man, then you come trembling to HaWah because now you're not in solitary. You're humble because you didn't know that the Creator could do that to you, right? Take away all your memory, put you in the Ruach Tardima, put you to sleep, put you in a slumber. But, the book of Isaiah talk about our slumber, right? The Ruach Tardima. Now you come trembling, humble to HaWah and to his goodness in the end of days. Had to slow it down for the Nagas in the front of the class. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you've been in solitary because you're going after these other guys. Sometimes you're a solitary Naga. I get it. Sometimes you like to be alone. I get it. But Israel as a tribe, Hasharala as a tribe, we are in solitary. We've been in solitary from the Creator because we refuse to be in solitary from their other gods. You got to choose your soul, top of the soul. You're gonna do the soul Invictus or you're going to do the soul bone, top of the soul bone. You're going to do your fire, your water, your ether. We're talking elements when I'm talking soul or solitary. You could be in solitary against eating meat, right? You could leave that alone, right? You could be in solitary against all hijacks. Man, I'm in solitary against all these hijacks. I'm alone. I'm away from it. That's a good solitary. HaWah put us in solitary because we didn't want to be in solitary from the hijack. We wanted to be one with the hijack. We was playing the harlot. But the Lion of Judah, the lion, sometimes is called a solitary animal. HaWah retired us from being the head. We became the tail. We became remote from society, mainly remote from HaWah, not having company or not much frequented. Nobody's visiting us. No one's helping us. Deuteronomy 28, right? No one's saving us. No one's buying us back. No one's redeeming us as a solitary resistance or place. Lonely. We've been lonely, destitute of company as a solitary life. We've been in solitary, boss. Many days, but now we can return, seek HaWah, and David our Khan. The imaginary war between Prester John and Eldad the Danite, Dan, right? Tribe of Dan, and its real implications. So let's see how they put this together with the Prester John Genghis Khan flow. Let's talk San Benyon River. What's the implications of Prester John as the scepter of Judah will never depart, right? So if he's going to war against the other tribes, that sounds very biblical, right? Don't the northern and southern tribes have a little beef here and there, right? So the Davids fight each other. I mean, there's all type of internal wars going on, and this might be giving some drop on that. So love to Micah Perry. Shalak, let's go. Let me clear my throat. And let's rock with it, man. Let's ride. Let's press the 121. A Lego. Ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. right, so it's talking about the abstract. The abstract. All right, let's go. After introducing Eldad the Danite and his literature, this article presents an entangled history. Here we go, boss. It's very entangled. Of the belief in a utopian land, like a promised land. Let's go. Among medieval Jews. Medieval, man. Look, man, I know. I'm going to read it, but medieval, right? So this is when they want to put these titles, Dark Ages, medieval. You know, they talking so-called black people. Specifically, they're talking, you know, the tribes, the Hebrews, the copper-colored cons, right? So medieval Jews and Christians. Nestorians, you know, we get it. Let's go. It does so by examining the relationship between the Eldad literature and the different versions of the Prester, of the letter of Prester John, first in Latin and then in the vernacular. These two tales of an imaginary land, call it America, boss, were popular among both Jews and Christians. And again, they say imaginary land. We're talking India Superior. This will be their imaginary land. Cathay, Cateo, India, right? Florida, Mexico, right? Let's pan out. We're talking about Asia, right? Asia, Asia, right? Does North America exist? Or are we just talking Asia, boss? Florida, Asia, got it. This would be their imaginary land. This is what they're looking for, right? This is what Columbus looking. This is what Cortez, Bernal Diaz, and them, right? So let's go. These two tales of an imaginary land were popular among both Jews and Christians. The two societies shared the belief in the land of Prester John and his neighbors, the 10 lost tribes. So Prester John is sharing the land with these other 10 tribes, these 10 lost tribes. We're just talking about, you know, southern tribes, you know, and then you got the northern tribes. So they having their little scrap, all right? So, and even exchange information about these mythical lands. Both Jews and Christians also use these stories against each other by retelling them with a bias to one side or the other, right? We got a lot of Christian bias. This literary interaction reflects the entanglement of these two societies and its limitations, demonstrating how the two societies shared the same information and used it in similar ways, but to contrary ends. All right. So they got some keywords. All right. Eldad, entangled history. All right. Prester John. All right. Toward the end of the 9th century, a strange-looking traveler made an appearance in the Jewish community of Karawan, North Africa, today North Central Tunisia. Oh, we just talking Tennessee. Tunisia or Tennessee. This Jew Eldad spoke only a strange and unfamiliar Hebrew. Because remember, this is Asia, right? And if they're talking about North Africa, remember, man, who the Confederacy is. This is Northwest Africa, boss, because there's a hush history about the Moors. That's like a big secret. Yeah, Southwest Africa. We talking South America, right? And we talking Amazon. And one of my nagas in the comments was like, can you clarify the Amazon? Is it African Amazon or South America, you know, American Amazon? Because they keep trying to make this an African thing. Well, first of all, they think you're in Africa, all right? So, and second of all, now I'm talking Amazon rainforest, Amazon like Brazil, right? So we're talking Khalifa like the Amazon Queen, California, right? So I'm talking about India Superior, boss. We're talking India Superior. That's what we talking about. That's all we talking. Let's go. And AI to the rest, to the entire Earth plane, we just got to reclaim a few things. It don't mean we are throwing shade on no other continents and nothing like that. We just got to reclaim a few things. And it might hurt a few feelings. Matter of fact, I got something to say. You know, stare at this map Stare at this mat while I got something to say, all right? You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable at this point, man. You know what I'm saying? You're on an investigation. Certain points in the investigation might feel good to you. Certain points in the investigation might feel like it's tearing you apart, tearing you different ways because of certain beliefs you had, certain things that have been, solidified to you that you might need to surf the wave on. You know what I'm saying? So be comfortable in this at this point in the investigation. The the wave surfer needs to be comfortable with being uncomfortable from time to time. You know what I'm saying? I just want to throw that out there. Whether we're talking Prester John, Indigenous Truth, orientation, flat drop 101, the frequency flow, we're talking the code. At some point, certain things might, cause you a little discomfort. You need to be comfortable, my niggas, with being uncomfortable, man. Another thing I want to say is this, man, while it's fresh on my mind. We, the way we act, the way us as I'm just talking to my people. I'm talking to my people, okay? Whoever you are, that's cool. I'm talking to my people. The way we act, especially towards each other, we can't say we ain't black because we sure act black. You know what I mean? We can't say we indigenous, copper color, this, and that. When we act towards each other, man, very black. Back to the more and more war, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's always been tribal war, but have we not acted atrociously wicked, horrible as a black deed or crime, man? I mean, look at the crime that we got, man. The murder rate, everybody keeping score like it's a video game. These young killers today, man, got zero filter on they on they on their kilometer, on their kilometer, man. Like they got nothing holding them back. You know what I'm saying? They got no counterbalance of nothing, man. They just are acting and it's not their fault. You know what I mean? This is why we talk Prester John, so they know they regal, so they know they royals. And so that they can say, how do we get here? And we could say, yo, at some point we got out of code and we all got to take accountability for it before we blame no white man or no black man. We are black, right? We are black because this is what we doing. I'm speaking as a people. All right. You good, cool, you good. But we as a people are very black right now, man. We've been black for a long time, and that's why they call us black, and that's why we embrace black. Even if you're talking about the color, there's other frequencies. You got to learn your language. You speak in English. You speak in hijack 101. So you can't claim a title in the hijack language that is talking about the infinite darkness to you. The word dark is a curse. The word black is a curse. You speak in a curse. Learn how to express yourself without cursing yourself. But Israel will return, right? I'm just getting this off my chest bone, man. Israel will return, right? It's all good. We're going to stop acting black, right? Okay? We're going to see HaLah. We're going to KTC. We're going to stop being atrociously wicked, stop murdering each other, stop thieving on each other, stop bearing false witness on each other. My naga, like, as we grow up in our frequency, as we cool, things get real clear. Everyone wants to hold us back. Everyone wants to stunt our growth, but they can't because it's destined. It's our destiny to be who we are. We can't be false witnesses on each other. And the worst type of false witness is a is a nigga that sets you up to try to, make you these type of things. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference between you witnessing something, even, you could be in error and have to correct your error to witness, properly or whatever, or you can come to a proper conclusion based on what you're witnessing. And because that brother or sister don't like what your conclusion is, they'll call you a false witness. And they don't understand, man. They are false witnessing by calling you a false witness. If you came to your conclusion honestly, if you have literal breadcrumbs and a trail in an investigation, or anything that you put together to come to your honest conclusion, you don't have to like my conclusion. It don't mean I'm a false witness. I don't have to like your conclusion. It don't mean you're a false witness. And the worst type of false witness is someone who's claiming somebody is false witnessing on them, and all they're doing is, coming to an honest opinion or a conclusion. A real false witness is someone who plots on you, plots on your ass to smear your name and, put you into some type of traffic or flow that has nothing to do with you, tries to put some type of crime on you that can get you hurt, can get you twisted. That's a false witness. That's someone who's meditating on your downfall. Nagas could be witnesses, and Nagas could, come with conclusions and, have opinions, You don't have to like it, but don't try to use the code in these type of ways. That's the worst type of brother or sister. What they call that's a Madiak. Someone who's twisting HaWah's words, twisting the code, acting like they're prophets and, oh yeah, the Creator told me and put this on me. The Creator put this on my heart. Stop using the Creator's name in vain. We can't confirm the Creator's rocking with you. It just feels good for you to say the Creator's rocking with you. You just feeding your own ego. You never hear us saying, oh, the Creator, oh, this lesson was put on my heart. I hope and pray, that I'm surfing the right, wave with HaWah, that I'm surfing a wave that's pure water with our Creator, and that I can continue to sharpen up and grow in the frequency so that it is pure water. That's the hope, that's the prayer. But, I never just say, hey, HaWah told me to tell you to do this. But we got people like that, They bearing false witness on the Creator. This is atrociously wicked, my knock. I'm just making an example. Like, this is atrociously wicked behavior. And then we putting other powers before HaWah, and then we going in praising all these other entities. We are being atrociously wicked, man. We can't be mad at they calling us black. Look what we doing to each other. We coveting each other. We jealous of everything we got. Now it's about followers. Now it's about all this social media stuff. Now we got all these other jealousies. Social media has amped up the gangs. It's amped up all this covetous and jealousy and vanity. It's But yet within that, we got, babies in the bathwater, And all praise to HaWah, we got the water that's flowing even through social media and AI to the cons that's popping off, really making it a balance, really putting a balance out there. But man, the vanity got to stop. The adultery got to stop. Bearing false witness got to stop, man. We ain't honoring our frame and our shaper, man. We ain't honoring Abba. That got to stop, man. We ain't resting. We ain't taking that breath. HaWah say, take a breath, just like you tell your children, take a breath. Go lie down, get some rest. And they want to pop off and start playing video games. Like, that's an issue, right? And this is what we doing. HaWah is just telling us to rest. Not go to church, not go to a mosque. Rest. We being atrociously wicked, man. So just want to put that out there from the hard bone, man. The way that we act, we are black as a tribe. And I'm here, to change that. We here to change that. Drop Nation here to change that so that we can return, right? Because afterwards shall the children of Israel return, seek HaWah and King David. Well, let's go. Kaka. So, we're talking Eldad, and it says this Jew Eldad spoke only a strange and unfamiliar Hebrew, right? Okay? So we know we're talking about Hebrews. They're in North Africa. Wow, we in North Africa too, boss. Right? So put this story where it belongs. Put it in America. Put it in India Superior, right? Put it in Asia, boss, right? Put it right here in Cathay, or what they call Kapangu. I mean, I see Florida. This is all North America. Cathay, China, the Khan of China. We got China here. We got Kapangu, Japan here. And then they took this island off the maps. Or is it underwater? We don't know. But put the story here when Eldad is popping off, man. Let's go. North Africa, right? Tunisia, Tennessee. Eldad spoke a strange and unfamiliar Hebrew and claimed to come from the lost tribe of Dan. He carried lost traditions and stories from the 10 lost tribes of Israel, living beyond the legendary river Sambanyan with their king and army. These accounts entranced Jewish communities worldwide and nourished legends that have persisted even until this day. So imagine, we're going to, talk Sambanyan, trust me, we're going to go all the way in on the Sambanyan, maybe on 122, but this is a mythical river, they say, was like a river of sand, a sand river, but it still had fish, but you can't cross it on the Sabbath. It flows 6 days and it rests on a Sabbath, so they call it the Sabbath River or the Sambanyan. And apparently across the river in exile are these 10 tribes, right? So wherever this sandy river is, it got 10 tribes on the other side. Now, are they the complete tribes? Are they remnants of the tribes? Are they people that, are they real niggas ready to pop off when it's time? Like, is it all happening, man? So let's go. These accounts entranced Jewish communities worldwide. All right, so in the 12th century, Europe was electrified. Europe was electrified by a letter addressed to the Byzantine Emperor Manuel from a Christian king. Nah, man, we know better. Nestorian, right? Prester John, living beyond Arab lands. We're talking Arab, let's go. In a land of wonder and riches, among the nations subject to his rule are listed the 10 tribes or lost tribes of Israel. But you're going to return, right? So that's, you're going to be found again. And their king, described by Eldad almost 300 years before. And we got out the Prester letter that this king of Israel had, raised up as like, he's the king of Israel over these 10 tribes. And the beef was Prester John said, man, what are you talking about, man? I got the scepter. So it was like a northern tribe, southern tribe, battle. You know what I'm saying? This king boasted himself over the lost tribes. Now, what does that got to do with Genghis Khan? Because we know that's a very popular, familiar story of the war with Genghis Khan and Prester John. Go get the drop, right? So let's go. I mean, is Genghis Khan calling himself king over these lost tribes after the invasion in the 1200s? And this letter's taking place, 12th century, 1165 letter. Let's go. Among the nations subject to his rule, are listed the 10 lost tribes of Israel and their king. Sound like some Genghis Khan stuff, right? Described by Eldad almost 300 years before. In the later Middle Ages, Christians and Jews continue to elaborate upon these descriptions of an imaginary utopian kingdom which serve changing political, ideological, theological, and social functions These two stories were told and retold in various incarnations that served changing political, ideological, theological, and social functions of the two societies who consumed them. In this article, I explore both the textual and the cultural relationships between these two stories. I first present the Eldad literature and examine its relationship with the first Latin accounts of Prester John. I then explore the Nachleben, Nachleben, of the Prester John and Eldad literatures in later versions and other languages, their uses, and the possible connections between them. Now, I never seen that before, so I just want to see what it is. We always learn something new around here. All right, to follow, to live one's life according to a role model, someone's teaching. So he's talking about following these teachings. Okay, maybe. The afterlife of an author in the sense of their posthumous published work or reputation. So it's kind of following the reputation of Eldad, you know what I'm saying? The afterlife of the author. Okay, let's go. So I then explore the Nachleben of the Prester John and Eldad literatures in later versions in other languages, their uses and the possible connections between them from a methodological point of view, while the first part of this article relies on philology, which is pretty much language, right? Studies of language, in order to establish the genetic relationship between these texts. The second part will employ the stance of the new philology. And, I'm dropping this for you, so get the fine print. Let me know what y'all see. And the study of transmission in order to portray their cultural relationships accordingly. In exploring later versions of this literature, I will not seek to reveal the original work that informs these different versions, but rather will treat each of them as a unique composition that bears witness to the society that generated and consumed it. All right, so I'm getting this so you can get the psychology behind it, that this ain't no play. That this researcher, Mika Perry, is on an investigation just like us, and they got their own, hard hits and pivot points they're using, and we got our frequency that we've been, surfing in, all praise HaWah, man. So Halal HaWah, we're going to search for HaWah and King David, right? Prester, king, Prester, priest. John means king. John means king. So through this analysis, I present an entangled history of the beginning in the utopian land, or the beautiful land, or the promised land of Prester John. In the Jewish or Hebrew tribes among two units of medieval European society, the Christian majority and the Jewish minority. Subsequently, I demonstrate these two groups' cultural entanglement, how ideas resonated from one to the other, and how these two sub-societies constituted each other. In a broader outline, this study is intended to illustrate the ways in which medieval societies used the imaginaire to construct reality. Or, the Christians had to use their imagination to create, a symbol that they can now use as a crusade tool. Prester John became someone that they had to create a narrative that he's there to help them. So they're looking for help against the Moors, right? They're looking for help against the Moabite tribes and Canaanite tribes and all the other tribes they got to face these Christians, right? So, and these Christians are also black people, you know what I'm saying? So this is still tribal war. The portrayal contributes to a once revolutionary and now well-accepted approach to Jewish-Christian relations in the Middle Ages. This approach assumes that both Jews and Christians were far more aware of each other's beliefs than had once been taught or thought, and the exchange of ideas between them far more dynamic than the facade of polemical literature would lead us to believe. The key to this approach is to read Jewish-Christian relations through a wider variety of sources and methodologies, including ritual, fiction, liturgy, literary criticism, sociology, and anthropology. All right, a lot of big words, man. So let's go. Let's go, man. The accounts of Eldad the Danite and Prester John. All right, modern research struggles to identify Eldad. Was he a Kari, Samaritan, liar, merchant, crook, or simply a fantasizing storyteller? Did he actually exist, right? All of what we're talking about when we talk Khalifa, they're going to call Queen Khalifa imaginary. Prester John's imaginary. Moses is imaginary. The creator's imaginary. The firmament's imaginary. Everything's imaginary. Dragons are imaginary. Managa, you became a myth. You're imaginary. Did he actually exist? These questions have been further complicated by the crucial textual difficulty. The best sources about Eldad are late 15th to 16th centuries. And if you put that together, that this could be happening in the 15th century with Prester John instead of the 12th century, then man, objects in the mirror might be closer than what they appear. Say it with me, Managi. Objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear, man. Prester John might be way more recent. King David might be way more recent. 1400 recent. 1500s recent. Yeah, now you in the, almost in the, damn near in the Tecumseh flow, man, by the time you put this together, man. So let's go. To Tecumseh. Amen. Tecumseh tried to unite the tribes, right? So, all right. So the best sources are about Eldad are late 15th and 16th century, whereas earlier extant sources are fragmentary and comprehensible only in light of the latter ones from a systematic analysis of this material. David J. Wasserstein concludes that both its dating and attribution to Eldad are uncertain, and that these problems prevent future discussion of the subject. Oh, yes, David Wasserstein. Yeah, everything's uncertain. All right, so our primary source concerning Eldad is an alleged responsum. And again, you can get the gist. You can always tell the vibe, you can tell the vibe of these authors if they're trying to prove, Prester John exists and, prove India superior is the flow and promised land, America, and the other ones that try to get some documents to disprove or make it imaginary. But we might get some babies out. I'm going to get a couple more paragraphs and I'm going to skip over and start talking about some Amazon queens and maybe come back to this for the dismount. Hey, this is Prester John 121, man. It's all happening, man. Our primary source concerning Eldad is an alleged responsum by the Babylonian John, right? So it's another way of saying John, like Prester John. They'll spell it with the G. Love to the Templar who also showed this. G-A, sometimes a G-E-O-N or G-A-O-N, John, J or G. Remember the J don't exist, so I think we're getting a little closer here. Ja'un, right? So head of the yeshiva in Baghdad. Head of the yeshiva in Baghdad. Okay, let's go. Let's just rock with it. Zema ben Haim They put him 889, 895, written in response to a question sent to him by the Jews of Halal HaWah. The text begins with their petition, which describes Eldad's arrival and his account of the lost tribes. He reports where each tribe is cited, how they conduct war with their enemies, the righteousness of their king, which they put in parentheses ADIEL, and their obedience to God's laws. Okay. So they do know about the code, right? The petition goes on to say that the tribes do not possess the Talmud or other post-biblical works, and that they speak and know only Hebrew. All right. I mean, look, man, this is what the report is. All right. So when Columbus brought a Hebrew interpreter, Louis Torres, over here to convert you, like they were converting the Mongols, trying to convert the Mongols and the Indians at the same damn time, or we're talking the same people, because Mongol means great ones. And they reclassified the Mongols with a whole other group of people, right? Because now it's a whole other barbarian and all this, but the barber is the Swanite. And then they made it pros and cons, but the cons are the praise. You see how they flipping it, man? So we taking about the cons, we taking back the barbars, the swans, and we taking back the cons and the swan. So these niggas only rocking, with Tanakh. They ain't rocking with no post-biblical New Testament. They ain't rocking with no Talmud. We only know Hebrew. The Iberu, Eber, Keber, Kavera. Huh? Here examples of this strange Hebrew are provided. Strange Hebrew, what they talking about? Picto-paleo? Like shalom instead of shalom, right? But the tribes do possess oral traditions coming from the mouth of Joshua, coming from the mouth of Moses, coming from the mouth of the Almighty. Let's go. Let's go. The text then cites a treatise on the laws of ritual slaughter, Halal HaWah, as an example of these traditions. Towards the end of the letter, the petitioners recount the legend of the children of Moses, B'nai Moshe, i.e. the Levites, who after the destruction of the temple were carried by a cloud. Doesn't it say in the book of Exodus, as they are following this cloud, pillar of cloud and all this stuff, right? So, all right, put it together. Children of Moses, carried by a cloud. The cloud is also, by definition, anything transparent that's above you. Like, it doesn't have to be a cloud like you think it is. We could be talking dragon easily, right? Frequency. Cloud. I mean, that's a good, what's a cloud, man? We know what black is, man. But what's a cloud? Ooh, a collection of visible vapor, watery particles suspended in the atmosphere. Right? Okay. Vapors. Okay. All right, man. Somebody said, hey, drop. What's a vapor? We're just talking that water, right? We're talking dragons, man. All right. Water, fire, earth, air. We're talking dragons, elements, right? Let's go. Let's go. Invisible elastic fluid. Rendered airform by heat. Capable of being condensed or brought back to the liquid or solid state. That water. Yeah, visible fluid floating in the atmosphere. Fog, smoke. Smoke like a dragon smoke. Smoke out of his nose. Fire out of his mouth. Psalms 18 type smoke. Substances resembling smoke would also be a cloud. Or wind. Wind could be a vapor, a vapor. So the vapor could be any substance resembling smoke, sometimes filled in the atmosphere, particularly in America. What? Come on, man. Man, say it with me, man. Body bag for the illusion. Come on, man. I can't make this up. Why they gotta single out America when we talking vapors, man? Oh, you got the vapors? Wind, mental fume, vain imagination, unreal. Oh, it sounds like dragon talk. Sounds like dragon talk. This is crazy. Hey, only in America, boss. Let's go, man. Let's go. So, hey, we having fun, man. It is a victory lap. We are on a warpath, though. We are on a warpath. Hey, the price is going up, man. The price is going up, man. We're on a warpath. We being carried by the clouds. We being carried by the vapor, right? We being carried by the dark and varied colors, right? We being carried by, it says the dark varied colors in veins or spots on stones or other bodies. Say it with me. Body bag. Body bag, man. Oh, look at this. I'm just saying what's the definition of a cloud. We got vapor. We got all kinds of stuff. A cloud of incense. Okay. A great multitude. A vast collect. Come on, man. Come on, man. Shout out to the homie, man, what's my name? What's my man's name? Bully. The Bully Slayer, man. Hey, come on, brother. 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 Come on, brother. The great multitude, brother. Come on, brother. Come on, man. Y'all gotta rock with this, man. Come on, man. Hijack City. Watch out. Look at them try to block. Look at them try to block. Nah, man, you can't block this. A great multitude is a cloud. A great multitude is a cloud. A vast collection of what is a cloud? It doesn't say water and rain. You got to put the conjecture to that. It doesn't say that. A great multitude is a cloud. So it could be a cloud of angels, a cloud of dragons, but the tribe was carried by the cloud, right? The great multitude. Oh boy, the collection of smoke, right? Who wants to smoke? Ooh, ooh, ah. Glad I got these last, couple paragraphs before we pop off in the Amazon Queen. So, toward the end of the letter, the petitioners recount the legend of the children of Moses, B'nai Moshe, the Levites, who after the destruction of the temple were carried by the cloud, carried by the, what they say, multitude, the great multitude. Just trying to put this together, boss. A great multitude. A vast collection. Okay. So the children of Moses was carried by a vast collection, a great multitude of, I'll let you fill that in, and placed for safekeeping behind the river. So, do you think, just using your own common sense, that they were just carried by a random cloud like you see today? Just stuff you could just fall right through, right? Or are we talking about a great multitude of something, right? So, let me know. Let's go. Now, they were carried behind the Samoyed by dragons. All right. These tribes were carried to exile, not as a punishment, but really as safety. Are they still there today? We're still looking for this sandy river, this Samoyed River. And then I'm just going to let you know how deep. Let me show you how deep this river go. How deep does it go? I mean, everybody's talking about the Samoyed. Everybody's talking Samoyed. The river beyond which the 10 tribes were exiled by the Assyrian king Shalmaneser V. Didn't we just bring up Genghis Khan? Haven't we been talking about this connection? Man, shout out to Bro Lex Will, man. That's the first time I heard of Shalmaneser, Nebuchadnezzar, which, can also be this Genghis Khan flow too. We talked about it. Can Genghis Khan be Nebuchadnezzar? Nebuchadnezzar literally means Nebo, defend my boundaries. Nebo, defend my boundaries. So, who's Nebuchadnezzar for real, for real? Is it all the same thing as this Assyrian king, Shalmaneser? Did Genghis Khan exile these lost tribes and saying he's king over them, but also kind of protecting them at the same time? I don't know. That's for the advanced wave servers. In the earliest reference, such as the Targum Pseudo-Jonathan, the river is given no particular attributes, but later literature claims that it rages with rapids and throws up stones 6 days a week, or even consists entirely of stone, sand, and flame. Sandy river, right? For those 6 days, the Samoyed is impossible to cross, but it stops flowing every Shabbat. So it's called the Shabbat River, man. It's Samoyed, man. The day Jews or Hebrews are not allowed to travel. So that's why these exiled tribes, they better not try to cross the Shabbat River on the Shabbat. They better not try to cross the Shabbat River on the Shabbat. All right, so some writers say this is an origin of the name. I'll leave this for you. And then you get into Pliny the Elder, and everyone's talking Shabbat River, man. Everyone's talking about these red Jews cut off from the rest of Jewry by the legendary Samoyed. The Samoyed was a popular subject in medieval literature. For instance, some versions of the Alexander romance have Alexander the Great encounter the river on his travels. Uh-oh. Alexander the Great, who's that? In modern literature, the Samoyed appears prominently in Umberto Eco's Eco novel Baudolino, Baudolino, whose protagonists manage to cross the raging river of stones and find on the other side not the lost 10 tribes, but the kingdom of Prester John of their myth, right? Christian myth. Let's think about this. Who's on the other side of the Samoyed? One, where is the Samoyed? Is the Samoyed somewhere in India Superior, South America? Where do you think it is? I believe it's somewhere over here. I believe it's somewhere over here, boss. What does it got to do with the Amazon? What's it got to do with the Amazon? I mean, we'll get back to this, But again, it says the river does not contain water, but turns and swirls rocks and sands to prevent passage for 6 days a week, and then rest magically during the Sabbath. So finding this river would definitely give you the exact day of the Sabbath. You'll be definitely on your time because this river stops flowing on the Shabbat. Okay. What does it got to do with the Amazon? Let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up a taste. Con, we'll get back. It's like a 27-page document, at least what the preview is. I think we're on like page 3, so we'll get back to it. Amazon. Let's talk Amazon definition in 1828. Webster Dictionary. Amazon. Okay. This is said to be formed of a negative or a neg and breast. A neg and breast. Let me know in the comments if you know what a neg and breast is. I mean, you know what they talk. History informs us that the Amazons, cut off their right breast, and that it might not incommode them in shooting and hurling the javelin. This is doubtless a fable. Okay. The Amazons are said by historians to have been a race of female warriors who founded an empire on the river Thermodon in Asia Minor. Whoa. Asia Minor, boss. So you want to put us in the Asia over there? Or is all this happening right here in Big Dragon Pants, Big Boy India, Big Dragon India Superior, which is Asia, but they're just twisting it by putting minor, right, to throw us off? I mean, is it possible? Notice how down here it says the Mar, M-A-R, right? The Mare or More, right? The Mar Magellan, right? Magellanum. So Mar just means like water, right? Or great river, great water, you know what I'm saying? Great, we're talking water. Great. More means great, right? More means great. God, great water. Keep that in mind with this Mar, right? Keep the Mar in mind. Why? Let's go right to it. I'm going to just skip down here right quick. So let's look at the third definition. This name has been given to some American females on the banks of the largest river in the world. First of all, this is a body bag for the illusion as they keep trying to bring this into Asia Minor. We just said, are you talking Asia Major, boss? Then we keep reading and they say it got something to do with the American, right? Love the Queen Khalifa, Queen Sheba. Sheba means daughter of the seven. Sheba, Sibola, Shimbala, Shibola. We're talking Shabala. We're talking that mythical promised land. Sheba is the shortened, form of Shimbala. So this female is a Shem. She's a member of the Shem lineage. She is the daughter of the 7 cities of gold, my naga. That's what she's bringing to the table when she's rocking with Solomon, or we're talking Bathsheba rocking with David. Sheba's a title. We have multiple Shebas. Solomon's queen had a title of Sheba. David's queen had a title of Sheba. These are high Amazon queens. To answer my naga's question, we're talking Americana. We ain't talking the Africa that they're giving us. We're talking what they already know we're in, right? We're talking America, Africa, right? And I said, remember the Mar flow, because these American females on the banks of the largest river in the world, this is how they got their name. The largest river of the world, which one? We're talking about the Amazon, right? Right here in America, who joined their husbands in attacking the Spaniards, my knock. This is a body bag. Because now we're talking we got a date, right? We got the Spaniards invading 1400s, 1500s, really 1600s. And these Amazon queens were fighting next to their Presters, man. Next to the cons, man. I mean, they are the cons, you know what I'm saying? They're the cons, the the priest, the priest, the priestess, you know what I'm saying? We're talking queens and kings. We're talking Sheba Solomon, right? We're not talking one over the other, man. They're talking about framer shaper, man. You see how this is unfolding. So they're on the banks of the largest river and they're joining their husbands. They're not saying, oh, feminine energy, we got this all by ourselves. They're joining their husbands in attacking the Spaniards that first visited the country. This is what the Amazons got their name for. This wasn't happening in no Africa today because the Spaniards is over here visiting this country, and these Americans are right there in the banks of this larger river, Amazon. And another name for Amazon is, drum roll please, the trivial occurrence gave the name Amazon to the river. So, correction, they're not named after the river. The river's named after them. The river's named after the queens, right? Whose real name is Mar Ana. Can you say it? Boss, can you say it with me? Ania Ping Pow. Right? I said remember the Mar, right? The Mar. Referring to this great water like we have here. We're going to use this map a lot. This Orientis Finds map 1531 is going to put a lot of perspective for us, especially when we start talking Ganges, right? Because we got this before in previous Presters. The G's and the K's and the C's are interchangeable. The Ganja is the Kanka. The Kanka is a title that these Amazon queens were also holding. The Kanka, right? The Kanka title. Kan. Okay. We're talking Mar. We're talking Marana. And now that we know we're talking America, are we also talking, how do you say it? Say it with me, boss. Ania. What is the Mar Anan? Because again, we're just talking about Asia. And the Mar, we're talking America. What does the Mar Anan have to do with Ania? Quivera is also spelled with a K, like Kiever, and they drop the K, and you got the Heber. The V and the B's are interchangeable when you start dissecting their switcheroos. Horace Butler let us know one letter rule. So this key bearer is also Heber or Hebrew, or Eber, the regnum, the kingdom of Eber or the Hebrew, right? Which is also connected with the Anion kingdom, or we're just talking Anan ben David, Anan son of David, or Hanan, or Kana. but you got to choose your Canaan, right? But they tell you you're in the land of Canaan, right? But then they put the KH in front of the anion and they got Canaan or Canaan, right? So there's multiple Canaans, and there's Anan is also a son of the Prester in the Shem flow, not the Ham flow. So you got a Shem anion, Canaan, Hanan, and you got a Ham Canaan, right? Choose your Canaan. There's multiple Canaans. Kavera. Okay. Yeah, this is called White Fleet's Map. WYTFLIETS. Displays the 16th century, right? We're still in the 1500s. Concept of California, Alaska, and the Pacific and Arctic coasts. So we're talking California like Khalifa, Queen Khalifa. We're talking America, so you're not twisted and thinking this is somewhere else, right? 1597. They say 16th century. This is California, Alaska, Pacific, all that. Exemplifies the belief in a strait between Asia and the kingdom of Antioch. We know this is Asia, but they talking Asia Minor. But we in Asia Major. Northwest North America, or Northwest of Maxim, according to the Moors, right? 7 cities and towns are actually shown along with the many rivers. I just said 7 cities of gold. Sheba, daughter of the 7, right? Is it making sense? Prester 121. 7 cities and towns are actually shown along with the many rivers and capes that are named. 7 cities and towns. Okay. So the more we study, the more we got locations of the 7 cities of go. Okay. I don't want to give too much away. You know, it's a thin line we walk here, man. We don't like to give too much away, but we do need to keep dropping that drop for the wave surfers to keep spreading that drop. You know what I'm saying? So this is devoted solely to the Americas, right? Mar Anan or Ania. One letter rule. And we know that they changed all the anions to Arnons, and Arnon was a special river when it came to the boundaries of Moab and Israel, right? So just look up Arnon River and know that it was originally Anion River, and they literally switched them all, and we did plenty of drops showing that. They literally are switching Anion to Arnon, and all internet sites that have Arnon written or anion written, they changed it. And all internet, I never seen this before, all over the internet. Like, they just put an algorithm to change all these anions to arnon because they want to hide the anon. They want to hide the Amazon, right? They want to hide anion. They want to hide the queen. They want to hide the Sheba, the queen of the 7 cities of gold. They want to hide Antioch. So, hey man, fair use in your caboose, man. We're gonna get some drop, share some things, and just want to make sure we cover this, man. Fair use in your caboose. We're gonna do some criticism, Copyright 107, man. Fall back. Let's go. Okay. Let's back it up. Back it up. So again, a link we've been digging on that also shows this connection with the two Asias, and where they connect would be the Strait of Anion. They renamed it to the Bering Strait after some jabroni named Bering, right? So we got that. Mythical Straits of Anion, right? Because it's a myth, right? It's all a myth. It was all a dream, right? See how big we could get it. That's probably all right. But you see Prester John, India Superior, and this connection with which is really Asia Minor, and this India Superior is really Asia Major. Okay. Yeah. Now this maker of the MS map is in the British Museum, by the way, has placed Prester John not very far from Mexico. This is a 1530 map. And they put Prester John right here, get the drop. You got the links, pull them up. Literally says Prester John next to India Superior, Cathay in Mexico. Why would Prester John be so close to Mexico? Especially when Mexico is Moses or Meshi, Mexican. Shout out to my Detroit con. Mexican. Meshi is Moshe. Meshi is Moshe. Why would they put this in the British Museum? Because this is in the British Museum showing connection between Marco Polo's Asia and the new lands. But let's go. We're just talking about the mythical Straits of Antioch. We just got receipts and receipts. And again, when we talk Amazon, let's just be clear. I'm talking Amazon rainforest, Amazon. I ain't talking nothing they want to connect. And, Africa today, which is great because I know they got their tribes of warrior queens like they showed with the woman king. And they say those are Amazons. And this is the hijack, man. Love to all warrior queens, but all warrior queens didn't have the same purpose. All warrior queens didn't serve the same power or Khan, right? So, all warrior queens can't hold a light to Queen Khalifa and them, but they just want to name them Amazon. But we got to pay attention to who's naming those tribes over there in Africa Amazons. Like, who's naming them Amazons? Are they the Amazons or are they just being named Amazon? I mean, just research the Amazon rainforest. That alone is going to blow your mind, bro. We're talking Peru, right? Jerusalem. God, look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful it is. Dragons everywhere, right? God, this is the Amazon, man. We talking South America, man. Now, I do understand that there could be, pre-Atlantis connection, continents together, that these waters, might have connected to those same waters over there. I get all that. I'm just saying, when they talk Amazon, remember, the river is named after the queens. The queens ain't named after the river. So these queens that are fighting these Spaniards over here in Cali, in America, and South America, and the islands, the river is named after them. So you can't juxtapose them and put them on another continent when they over here recently fighting the hijack, and the Amazon is named after them, or the Marana, or Anion, which is right here, right? Anion, let's go. Now I tried to cross-reference this with Africa just a little bit, and they say the Amazon rainforest is not located in Africa. Gotcha. I just want to make this clear, man. When we talk Amazon, we are talking America. Just for my naga that needed the clarity, like, yo, can you make it clear? So is it in Africa? Not this particular rainforest. Stop tripping. All right, so let's go. We know that they got the homie Amazons, and this is what the movie was written. All about the woman king, right? So now they got this image of these African Amazons, right? When in reality, we know we're in, according to the hijack perspective, Northwest Africa. But how did they get their name? The Dahomey Amazons, get it bigger, were a FON, F-O-N, all-female military regiment of the Kingdom of Dahomey. So there are military regiment serving this king of Dahomey. All right, these Amazons, they're under Queen Khalifa, the ones we talking about. They're not under the king of Dahomey. They're not under the politics of West Africa or Benin. All right. Love to them, but we're talking original Amazons, not duplicates, right? So that existed from the 17th century unto the 19th century. We're not talking 17th century. We're talking when the Spaniards rode up on us. We're talking Amazons centuries before these queens. And love to these queens because I know they held it down. But before they even got this title, we're talking original Amazons when we talk Amazon. They are one of the few documented female armies in modern history. They were named Amazon by Western Europeans who encountered them. Who's these Western Europeans in Spain, in Italy, Portugal? Oh, we're talking the Moors. Are we still talking Moors? So they were called Amazon by these Moorishes in Western Europe that say, you remind us of somebody. You remind us of these Amazon queens in America, man. So they were named Amazon by the European. The black European, you know what I mean? Due to the story of the female warriors of Amazons in Greek mythology. And here we go with the myth. Because we know Scaliger and Petavis added 1,000 years, over 1,000 years, to all native people, all native tribes, on all native lands. And this Greek mythology is really their mythos based on India Superior. This is based on Atlantis and all that, right? So we still in America. What came first? You can't. These Amazons ain't got nothing to do with Greece. These Amazons got everything to do with Kalelus, everything to do with Shambhala, man. You know what I'm saying? India Superior. So, this is just, you could read more about the Dahomey, but please know we talking the originals when we talking Amazon. We're talking Queen Khalifa, right? We're talking the beautiful Queen Khalifa. She's the head of these Amazons. And now we can try to imagine Queen Khalifa and her dragons and them that they want to call mythology, so-called Black Amazon Queen. We're talking California named after Khalifa, right? Because she is the emblem, right, of California. She's really the emblem of America. Remember that painting that we had, with this beautiful queen, and it says, "This is the emblem of America." I wonder if they took that off the internet. I'm gonna put this in just for them, man. Black Indians. Emblem of America. I gotta just do that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Glad we found it. This is the emblem of America, man. So it's my belief that this is also a depiction of Queen Khalifa holding it down when they got here. Ready for war, ready for action. Right, they got this depiction here. America. They say Moors in America. No, we're talking the Queen. We're talking the Queen. We're talking Queen Sheba. Right, then they tried to flip it into this image, right? Now we got this stank ass image, right? Huh? She got feathers on, but now they have iconoclastic, the queen. Look, now we got this stank ass image, and look at the little black Indians, right? Tiny Indians with this giantess hijack emblem of America. When it all started out like this, she's like, damn, hijack city. This is an emblem of America. Indigenous North Americans, man. Stop playing, man. Huh? You better stop playing with Queen Khalifa. You better stop playing with the queen. Ah, ah. Let's talk about the queen. Let's talk about the queen. Published in 1510, Queen Khalifa is this legend or fact? The Black Amazon Queen, after whom California is named. People in general and the Moors love trying to claim her, trying to make her a Moabite, trying to make her all these other things. When she over there representing Shem on the front lines fighting the Spaniards that were the Moors. The Spaniards were the Moors. She means she's a Moor. Oh, she's a Moor. She fighting your ass. If she's a Moor, why you doing treaties on this queen? This queen's fighting the Spaniards. You come over here with treaties of peace and friendship. Huh? Make that make sense. If you want to claim her for your Moabite tribes, then why are you coming over here conquering her and her people? You gotta make it make sense. You can't claim all so-called black people as part of the Moorish Confederacy when you're at war with other so-called black people. Somebody's not rocking with your Confederacy. You seem to be Confederate against us. Oh, HaWah, don't hold your silence. Oh, HaWah, don't hold your peace. Be not still, HaWah. We need some action. These people tripping. Your enemies are in an uproar. It's a more and more war. And they that hate you have lifted up the head, and they hold crafty counsel, crafty conversations against your people. What is crafty converse, man? It means you're behind the scenes, hiding your conversations, right? We don't know what you're talking about. You're meeting in Switzerland, private meetings, private treaties, more and more war. They hold crafty converse against your people, HaWah. They mad at us because we are HaWah's people. HaWah says in Amos 3, you only of all the families have I known. Hasharah, so I'm gonna take this anger out on you if you don't listen, because I don't know nobody else. I didn't give them the law. I didn't give them the code. I don't expect these hijacks to keep the code. I expect you to keep the code. So you could be the head, not the tail, and have protection in this frequency I've created for you. I want you to be in peace and paradise. I want you to be in Shalom. I want you to be in the promised land. But you can't come over here stinking up the place. You can't come over here with your gods. You're going to be in solitary, boss, many days until you clean up your act. You're going to be lonely many days without me. You'll see. You want them? You can have them. You want those guys? They going to abandon you too. You're going to be so lonely. They're going to abandon you too. You think Jesus going to save you, man? Or you think HaWah's going to save you? You better make up your mind. People say, save yourselves. You know how you save yourself? By being in order. Same way with your diet, same way with your routine. That's how you preserve your life. Nothing wrong with order, Khan. You save yourself by being in order, and with the order comes all this magical, mythological, magi flow. And you got to believe in yourself again. That's how you save yourself. We're not just saying, oh, sky daddy, crack the sky and save us. We say we got to save ourselves by being in code with what the creator created for us to flow in. The magi we naturally have, the elements, the frequency, the dragons are real. The living water is real. Your unity needs to be real. Your priest king is real, so the flock needs to be real, because the shepherd is real. We didn't have to go outside our tribe to get a shepherd. We didn't have to go to Muhammad to get a shepherd. We have a shepherd in our flock already. Khan David is forever. One shepherd forever. Ezekiel 37. We got receipts for Khan David, man. All through the Tanakh, the imprint is there. What do you have for JC in the Tanakh? And don't tell me the Quran is some correction of the Tanakh. Because the Jews don't rock with the Tanakh. They rock with the Talmud. The Christians don't rock with the Tanakh. They rock with the New Testament. So who's going to rock with the Tanakh if the Jews don't rock with the Tanakh and the Christians don't rock with the Tanakh and the Muslims don't rock with the Tanakh? It's just open for someone to rock and wear the shoes of the Hebrew, the Karaites, the Karakata, the melanated Khans of the pure Cathay, Promised Land. Kaleluz, Ania. They hold crafty converse against your people. They take counsel against your treasured ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Is the story getting clear? Is the picture getting clear? That the name of Israel may be no more, and you don't remember it, man. That's the prophecy's true. HaWah said it, man. You don't remember yourself. Because someone that looks like you has cut you off from being a nation. Who? They have come together with one consent. Who? Against you do they make a covenant? Who, boss? The tents of Edom, Black Edom, Black Ishmael, Black Moab, Black Hagarites, Black Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistia, Tyre, Assyria, black-ass children of Lot have made a confederacy. Consulted together with one consent. Their unity is their greatest weapon. Your unity is your greatest weapon. All it takes is a remnant to unify. And you got to unify around a code. Most High over everything, KTC. That's how you unify, not a doctrine, not a religion. The code. No killing each other, no stealing from each other, no bearing false witness on your brother. No covetous. Don't be jealous of each other. Simple things. Keep your Shabbat, right? Let's go. This queen was a code keeper. She wasn't rocking all that, heebie-jeebie, man. You know what I'm saying? She was rocking with Solomon. She was rocking with Dawid. What they say, the Amazon queens were on the front line. Oh, they are said to have excluded men from their society, but we know when we read the Prester John letter that he admits that they were all married and they would come together like a few times a year at least, bearing their children and doing their thing, even though they were at war, right? So they couldn't really rock together like they wanted to because they were at war. So they kind of, did it for protection. And these warlike enterprises to have conquered and alarmed surrounding nations, some writers treat these accounts as fables. Some writers treat these accounts as fables, right? Rago. Okay. So this name has been given to some American females on the banks of the largest river in the world who joined their husbands. They are married. They didn't exclude their husbands. They are married in attacking the Spaniards in the more-on-more war. Because we know what Charles Kento looked like. So let's get some clarity. They were joined with their men, right? However, they did their battle plan. They were joined by their kings, and the kings were joined by their queens. Simple. Hit the easy button. All right. So one source maintains that the Spaniards, upon arriving along the California shores, saw a number of black people with ships. They asked the Indians who were they, and the Indians replied that these black curly-haired people were of the land of California and traded with people across the sea, the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so let's pop off. Now I want to try to keep this around the 2-hour range this time, so let's get it, man. So they say when the Spaniards, right? So just pay attention to the timeline. Spaniards, right? 1400s, 1500s, right? So when they came up, these Amazon queens were already there. So they call this a myth, right? When it was just happening. And even Columbus, talks about the island of women and all this stuff that he encountered. These queens are on the front line with their kings, right? Black curly-haired people were of the land of California and traded with people across the sea, the Pacific Ocean, by selling back and forth. I don't know about you, but I'm more inclined to believe the Native American Indians selling from the Pacific Ocean, and trading seems more likely regarding this legend. Shout out to Sola, S-O-L-A, man, yeah. Where were these black Californians going to in the Pacific? It is most likely they were trading with people in Hawaii or as far as South Pacific, man. Shout out to Kamehameha, Kamai, right? All these other Nagas, the Philippines, right? Remember the Philippines were, look, man. So this is all taking place a couple hundred years or so before what they're picking up here as these major wars in American history. But even though we know Chickamauga, right? Those that did not sign these treaties with the Cherokee, they're called the Chickamauga. They were on the front line, right, for the first 20 years. All right, this is after this Amazon flow, right? Then it goes into the Tecumseh War, right? And then now we got the Seminole War, and all this is still the Chickamauga Wars. Same tribes, same Israelite tribes. This is how long you've been fighting. From these 1400s and Spaniards and Amazon queens, all the way up, man. Hundreds and hundreds of years of fighting the hijack. Hundreds and hundreds of years of fighting the hijack. And if Khalifa's popping off in 1400s, man, you bet your ass, man, that That means Solomon and David are more recent than the 12th century. And of course, we know we got the living water, we got the fountain of youth. So the 12th century is not the end of David, of the Solomon flow. You know what I'm saying? Of your magi, of your priest kings, of your priest queen. They're talking Philippines. We're talking Texas Indian Wars, Mexico Wars, and yes, Philippine War. All throughout the 1900s, who were they at war with? Were they at war with the same people? Were they at war with the same Nagas that Queen Khalifa and the Amazons were visiting, right? In fact, when Magellan arrived in the Philippines, there were large numbers of negritos, right? Niggas, Nagas, who were well organized. Well organized. I said, say it with me, boss. Well organized. United tribes. And according to some sources, a strong population. That's African presence in early age. No, we're talking Americans, man. Love to Ivan Van Sertima, but you ain't gonna bring us to Africa, boss. They already are here. We're talking copper color. Nagas found here. Definition of an American. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm just getting some of this, man. But we know we're talking gold, cities of gold, right? Sheba, right? Means what? Daughter of the 7 cities of gold. Khan. Con, con. I mean, all this is happening. Why not go right in our face, ball? So when we put this together, we say, yo, this is recent history. They talking about Columbus Day. We talking about the invasion of regal royal Nagas right here in India Superior, boss. And I'm just gonna get this excerpt from this Eli Yahoo project, and they took this website down. But I'm just so grateful that we, at least printed this out. I did screenshot it, but for some reason they didn't let me pull it up. So I emailed it to myself like 7, 8 times. It's not even popping up in my email. So I do have it on my screenshot on my phone. I do have a printed out copy, and I'm just going to read, a couple paragraphs and pay attention to the timelines. We're talking high Amazon queens. We're talking Queen Khalifa in it, right? So let's go. Now it says around 116 AD, the Romans under the Emperor Trajan, Trajan, which is probably where they're getting the Trojan flow, attacked and destroyed Parthia, which they also call Ophir, right? So let's put this together. These Romans are attacking Ophir, okay? Cities of gold, right? The home city of the Parthian Empire, which was at the mouth of the Swan Canyon, right? We're talking Swan Knights when we talk Sylvanus to Texas and them. We talking Swan Knights when we talking these queens. Swan is Perth. I'm just reading this from the Elihu project that they took down off the internet. All right, so this ain't even on the internet. So just check it out. And again, we're gonna go way deeper on this next one on the 122, and I'll have the PDF for that. I'll PDF this thing so that we can at least get this out, right? So this attack on Ophir by the Emperor Trojan, right, which is at the mouth of the Swan Canyon, now under the ocean, it says, they established a secret Roman colony. We're talking Remani, with its new capital of Barabona, north of the Temala, Temala, or Swan or Eridanus River. So this is also called the Swan River. This is also called the Swan Canyon. And Barber means swan in Hebrew. And it says it right here. The name of the region was originally called Barber, Barbur, which is swan in Hebrew, or Barab or Barabia, or what they call barbarian or barbarian, right? So Barabia is Barber, is the swans or the swan knights under King Solomon, Sylvanus to Texas. Now we're talking Solomon and Sheba flow. So the Barbers were to establish trading colonies, it says in Africa, but remember we're in Northwest Africa. Let's go. And around 1450 to 1500, they moved their center of operations to North Africa and the Ottoman Empire, where they were known as the Barbary Pirates. Nah, these are people taking the Barbary titles in North Africa. Now they talking the Moors. And this is how they try to wrap their way around Queen Khalifa, right? And gave them the names to the people, gave their names to the people of North Africa. They also had bases on what is now called Barbar Islands in Indonesia, okay, which was once part of the Aridalan area before much of it sunk into the sea between 1350 and 1530. My naga, if all this is sinking in the sea in 1350, then this cataclysm, this flood situation, I mean, all this stuff might be way more recent. If all this just sunk between 1350 and 1550 or 1530, and we see all these 1530 maps, right, with, Asia Major as America. So the central Babar Island is the remnant of the great trading city of the Barbars or Berbers. The steeped appearance of the island is man-made rather than natural, as claimed by the evolutionist scientists. There was another possible Barber colony near Barber Island in Queensland before 1530. And again, Orientis finds map 1531, right? Okay, let's keep going. The Barrier Reef was once the coastal plain of Queensland before 1530 AD, not the date that the evolutionists give of 20 million years ago. Whoa. So this researcher from the Elihu Project, that they took it down off the internet, took the website down, he's connecting that this 1530 is the real date of this barrier reef situation, which is also connected to this flooding situation between 1350 and 1530. 1530 seems to be a very important, denoting situation, right? It's denoting something, demarcation, right? So this is not the date that the evolutionists give of 20 million years ago. So it's showing you that they'll put something out there like 20 million years and it's really just 1530. But we calling it dark ages because they're adding that much time. They're not just adding the three major chronological time shifts, 300 years, 1,000 years, 1800. They're going sometimes to say, hey, man, that happened 20 kajillion million years ago. And we don't know no better, so we believe it. But 20 million years ago, it's really just the year 1530 AD to this researcher. It says the two leading families of these barbars, these swans, were the Barbarossa and the Reis families, which were branches of the ruling royal family of Rhoda. Remember, Rhoda means red, right? So we're talking Arizona. The kingdom of Rhoda was in Arizona. Then they changed it to Rhode Island, but we're still talking America. The ruling royal family of Rhoda and the Rubani or Lubani or Albany, like Albany, New York. It's just Rubani, one letter Ru, right? Some of them converted to Islam. Others remained Jewish or Hebrew, right? Some of them would become Catholics or crypto-Jew Catholics, like they're hiding that they have to hide the fact that they're code keepers to stay alive. Some have claimed they were of Greek ancestry, others Turkish, and others Spanish. Whether they were outwardly Muslim, Jewish, or Catholic, they served the hidden Amazon queen. Who's that? The same person they call in the mythology, right? They served Queen Khalifa. They served the hidden Amazon queen. We're talking swans, right? Now put this together with the Swanite Kalelus flow from, Forbidden Histories of America, Daniel Lowe, and then you put the kings and the queens together, and then you get better dates, and you see how recent this was in America, boss. We can't be from Africa. All this is just happening. We still fighting wars. When did you have time to be a slave from Africa? You fighting all these wars, boss. Texas Indian War. Hundreds of years of these wars. Cherokee, Chickamauga, right? The Coonsay War. Chickamauga. When were you a slave if you were fighting the whole damn time? When were you a slave? Last part I get is this, man. So they served the queen who, after 1530, had moved with her warrior Hebrew Amazon women. So they say Jewish Amazon women. So this woman is a Hebrew. And this is facts and receipts backing it up, other than the fact that she is Sheba, Queen Sheba. She is Shambhala. But yes, she is a Hebrew Amazon queen. And it says they move with her, or they serve the hidden Amazon queen who, after 1530, had moved with her warrior Hebrew Amazon women into the area of the Caucasus Mountains. So now they're hiding out in the Caucasus. Now we're talking Byzantine. Mosak, Cappadocia. Some of the Kurds descend from these women. One of the hidden Amazon queens is known as Asenath Barzani, a Kurdish woman rabbi and leader of the Jewish community. So they're claiming descent from these Amazon queens. Her father is Rabbi Samuel, grandson of King Joseph of the Rubati or Lubani. Amazing. And just, we're going to get into this, man. But, I mean, it says on her death, or they're talking about this Asenath Barzani. On her death, 1542, her daughter Saeed al-Hurra, who was the queen of the Barbary pirates and the Tiwanan, they left Morocco and moved to Paragali, the fairy castle, to take up her role as the Amazon High Queen. This was a gateway to a hidden Amazon city. Then they connect the Persians, Indians, Armenian, and their legends divide the Amazons or fairies into two groups. So when you hear about these fairies and these fairy tales, we're talking Amazon. The Peri, P-E-R-I, and the Div, D-I-V-S. The Divs are also the Dewi, D-E-W-I, or the Dodi, which connects to the same David, Dewey title. So the David title, they also call Davida titles. So we have, again, Framer Shaper, King, Queens ruling side by side under Davida, Dewey titles, David titles, all connected with the tribes of Judah, tribes of Israel, right? So it says, in fact, the Peri are those Amazon queens like Paris or Pariahs, right? Like it says where Mexico would be, it says Pari, P-A-R-I, When I'm reading it, it says P-E-R-I. So again, one letter rule. P-A-R-I, P-E-R-I. But we're talking pariahs. We're talking Mexico. Little cons popping off, man. So again, in fact, these pari or pariahs are those Amazon queens who reign from Paragala, and the Deves or Devs are the Deweys, D-E-W-I, those who reign in Kanka. And I say pay attention to the Kanka because it has something to do with this Ganges, which is the ganja, or the Kanka, one letter rule, since the C's and G's and K's are interchangeable. Let's go as we make our dismount. All right. So they reigned in Kanka, right? What's it got to do with Ganges? And the Ganges is also connected to the magical, mythical Paradise Rivers. Is one of these Ganges right here in Asia. All right. They want to say Australia, right? It's all good because Australia is just a term for below, right? And this below has to do with South America. But let's go. Who were descended from the Queen of Sheba. We're talking Khalifa. Kanka was on the banks of the Thebe, Thebe, or Sheba. So when they talk Thebes, one letter rule, exchange the T and S, you got Sheba, like Sheba, river. So the Kanka was on the banks of the Sheba River. And what does the Sheba River got to do with the Saint-Maignan? All right, man, that's all I'm going to get for now. But I'm going to PDF it, and next time we'll be reading this document together, man. Because I know we've been surfing the wave. Khalifa, fictional queen, yeah. She don't exist no more. But she's fighting the Spaniards on the island of California, first introduced by the 16th century poet Garcia Rodriguez de Montalvo in his epic novel of chivalry, Las Sargas de Esplandian, The Adventures of Esplandian. We got to get that, man. Written in around 1511, the California is a region of North America encompassed the United States of California. Okay, the United State of California. U.S. state of California. All right. The Mexican states of Baja California, sir. I think some of these Bajas really connect into the, main portion of Khalifa's flow. They take their name from Khalifa and her kingdom. In the novel, Khalifa is a pagan warrior queen. Yeah, because she's not a Christian. Okay. Who ruled over a kingdom of black women living on the island of California, an island off the coast of Asia. Yeah, Asia, right? North America, yeah, Asia. Perry, right? Paris, Ganji, Kanka. Khalifa is convinced to raise an army of women warriors and sail away from California with a large flock of trained dragons or griffins so that she can join a Muslim battle against Christians who are defending Constantinople. So now we got their story. Now she's joining Muslims against Christians, or is she Hebrew fighting against the Christians, fighting against the Muslims. They both want to act like Prester John's on their side. Khalifa's on their side, man. Hijack City, man. We're going to pick it up and keep it going with these beautiful high Amazon queens, man. We just getting started, man. This is all happening. You know what I mean? But you see how this is all really connecting in real time, man, because here we go with the Spain flow, and the Spain flow really brings us into what's happening. The name of Khalifa was likely formed from the Arabic word Khalifa, state leader, that is known as Caliph in English or Khalifa in Spanish. Similarly, the name of Khalifa's realm, California, likely originated from the same root fabricated by the author to remind the 16th century Spanish reader of the Reconquista, or the takeover, a century-long fight between Christian Iberians and Muslim Arabs. Stop the play. We didn't have to choose these sides. Man. By the way, man, the water to my man. You know, all your support is amazing. We see it adding up. We almost there, reaching our goal of 20K. So please be the knockers that get us over the top, and please continue your support as we got a lot to build. Enjoy World, Ahab, Brooklyn Jenkins, Brandon Zavala, Anthony Largy, Zion Train, all the anonymous knockers, Doretta, Will Hyde, we appreciate you truly. All the dragons on the wall, all the sponsors, we appreciate you. All of you listening in, you know what I'm saying? Your support, we appreciate you. I'm gonna leave you with this Cox, man. We talked about Noah's Ark last time, right? North Carolina flow. In Aztec mythology, Cox was the only male survivor of a worldwide flood. We just talked about this flood, right? The Aztecs believed that only Cox and his wife, Xiacaquetzal, all right, Quetzal is like the dragon, all right, survived the flood. So just like the Old Testament, so-called Old Testament, Tanakh, there's a flood story and there's a Noah character who survives the flood with his wife and his family. They took refuge in the hollow trunk of the cypress, which floated on top of the water, just like Noah's Ark, and finally banked on the mountain of Kulhuacan. Yeah, Kul HaWah. The HUA is Hawa. Khan, Cankankhan. You see the drop. Hawah's name is everywhere, boss. Hawah's name is everywhere, like Joshua, Hawaii, Kul Hawakan, Ki Hawa. They had many children, but all of them were mute. The Great Spirit took pity on them and sent a dove, which attempted to teach the children how to speak. 15 of them succeeded, and from these the Aztec believed the Toltecs and Aztecs were descended. That's their story, and they sticking to it. They talking about cypress trees and the flood waters, man, connected with the highest mountaintops. Look up the legend of Cox, man, because it's more receipts that this biblical story and the indigenous truth are interconnected. Straight up like that. Yeah. We're talking high Amazon queens. And you remember, this is kind of like the Allahu project. This has a lot of drop as well. I'll leave this for you. We'll pick it up next time. Judeo-Roman, Amazon, Davidic queens of Kadodu and Kalelu. So this going to bring you right into the Kalelu's flow for my wave surfers. In North America, there was a kingdom or empire which was west of the kingdom of Allegheny and Appalachia. The Appalachian Mountains. And man, we talked about that with the Noah flow, right? So we're talking about Pilot Mountain and all that, right? And the principality of the Ragelachia, something like that, Rageliachia, but east of the Kalelu's kingdoms, right? We're talking multiple kingdoms. Kalelu's means promised lands, according to Daniel Lowe in the Forbidden Histories of America. So there's multiple kingdoms in this promised land, right? A couple of them are right here in your face bone. You got Anion Kingdom, Anan, right? Maranan. You got Corvera, Eber Kingdom. You got the Ptolemy Kingdom. Multiple kingdoms in Anion. More receipts. So this was the Davidic Amazon Queendom of Dodu and Kododu, whose queen and her elite Hebrew women ruled over different tribes in the areas of Arkansas, Mississippi, and the surrounding areas. So this Queen Khalifa type character, right? She is popping off, you know what I'm saying? And again, so we see clearly they joined their husbands in attacking the Spaniards, so they weren't acting alone. That's what we all gotta understand, that we are one. We need each other equally, right? So they say queendom, but really they rocking together. So Arkansas, like Noah's Ark, Mississippi, right? That's where that Nile is. The Cherokee people, like the Chickamauga Cherokee, today descend from this Judeo-Remani. Remani means pomegranate, right? Remani in Hebrew, Rimmon, R-I-M-O-N, means pomegranate, connecting with the promised land, because Caleb and Joshua had to bring them pomegranates to prove to Moshe that they was in promised land. So pomegranate is Rimmon. They changed to Roman, took the title Rimmon, because they want to claim the promised land, huh? But we're talking Judah, which is why they say Judeo-Roman, right? We're talking Judah, pomegranate, or Rimani, all right? Amazon, you know where that is, right? So now we can connect all three of those, and it brings you where, boss? Asia, boss. It brings you where? India, boss. God, India is superior, right? Brings you right here. Cathay, Promised Land, Pure Land. Kalalus, Promised Land, Pure Land. Superior Land, right? Mexico, we're talking Mexican. Cherokee, Caddo. And now says this Queen of Judah, we're talking Khalifa, has this elite ruling group, royals, as well as some of the pagan Indian, American Indians, which they list the Ishmaelites. So they were all had to, bow down to the Queen of Judah, man. While other groups such as the Caddo, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw were under the Queen's rule and authority. This is why Tecumseh had an issue tribing them up. He went to them because they were all under the same flow. This was the last great opportunity for us to tribe up and unite. But everyone didn't want to do that because they didn't want to be up under David and Sheba. They want to be up under Khalifa. They didn't want to be up under the flow no more, right? They wanted to be sign their treaties and be in their own flow, right? So okay. The queen was known as Davida. So instead of David on one side, on the women's side, you got the Davida or the Dodi or Dolda, right? And we showed some Dodi drop with the Prester John flow before, and often in the 2nd to 5th century intermarried with Judeo-Remani or Judah kings of Kalalus. And just like we'll get that other one next time, a few of these Judah kings, I got a list over here. You got Prince Sinan or Canaan, Cynan, which is also like Hanan of Rhoda, Canaan ben Jacob, Hadradri, back to the Rhoda flow, King Iago, or Jacob ben Israel. That's 1033, man. You got King Israel the 7th. This is Rhoda and Kalalus, 999 to 1018. Priest King of the Toltecs. The priest king of the Toltecs is King Israel the 7th. I'm reading from this Kalalus, a Jewish Catholic state in early medieval America drop. You got Prince Makir of Kalalus. You got Isaac or HaWah Mak, Hoatzin, which could easily be a Moshe flow, priest king of the Toltecs. You got another Prince Isaac Nahushta, we're talking that dragon flow, copper flow, Quetzalcoatl, they say. So Prince Isaac is Coatl. Rhoda, priest king of the Toltecs, younger brother of King Israel, the 4th of Rhoda and Kalalus. Managa is a play. You got King Israel the 3rd of Septimus of Rhoda and Kalalus, brother of King Rodri, Mar Gwynedd, who married Shemina, another high Amazon queen, daughter of Makir, Managa. You got King Israel the 2nd. You got King Israel the 1st. You got Nehemiah Theodorus HaMakeri, huh? You got Makir Tadros ben Yehuda, Judah, Makir son of Judah, Amor ben Amor, right? Hebrew king of Septimania. Sept means 7 cities of gold. So you have a king of the 7 cities of gold. You have a queen of the 7 cities of gold. Put it together, my naga. Framer, shaper, flow. The queens of the ruling Jewish elite, they say, Hebrew elite. And this queen ruled over a number of Amazon duchesses, man. You see how this is flowing? The beloved queen mother of the Jews we're talking about. Royal clans, right? Of Hebrew queens. Royal clans of the Hebrew queen. Oh man, it's great to be back in India Superior. My naga popping off with you. We know that they are in one consent. Against you do they make a covenant, but we are in HaWah's covenant. And we're talking Davidas and Davids, right? I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David, my servant, forever will I establish your seed. We're talking about covenants. They made a covenant against us. We have a covenant with HaWah against all hijacks. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I've sworn unto David. And if HaWah has sworn unto David, surely HaWah has sworn unto these Davidas as well. And again, I'll get the PDFs and we'll read along next time talking about these Davidas. Because we are searching for HaWah and Dawid. Hosea 3, which means we also are searching for our Davidas. God. Nebuchadnezzar, Nebo, defend my boundaries, man. And you know, there's some whispers out here in the Harasha. They say Nebuchadnezzar, the wicked one, Harasha, was a son or descendant of the Queen of Sheba. I'm just going to leave this here. Because perhaps when Nebuchadnezzar was trying to roll up on, get the princes of Judah, right? He felt like he had a right to the throne because he's the son of Queen Khalifa. Could it be that Nebo, defend my boundary, Nebuchadnezzar, is one of the sons of Queen Khalifa, Queen Sheba, and felt, hey man, I have a right to this throne. I am a son of Solomon. I am a son of David. Maybe that's why Nebuchadnezzar was tripping. Was he a descendant of Queen Sheba by her marriage with Solomon? Is that why Nebo tripping? Man, we got to get that book of Daniel again. Think about it like Genghis Khan. Is Genghis Khan the son of Queen Sheba? Ooh. Is Genghis Khan the son of Solomon? Oh. Is that why he tripping? Thinking he got the right to take over because of his bloodline that's being hidden? Nebo, defend my boundary. Nabu, Kadori, Usor, Nebo, defend my boundary. Found more than 90 times in the Tanakh, right? So who's defending the boundary? Is he a son of Sheba? Is he a son of Solomon? I said top of the soul. I said top of the soul. Man, we having fun. We out of here. It's a victory lap. Just know that everything goes right back to you. In addition, this is from the shavei.org, SHAVEI. In addition to the historic Jewish roots of the Pathans, Pushtuns, described elsewhere on the Shavi Israel side. There is also speculation from the Afghan royal family that its roots in the tribe of Benjamin. It has roots in the tribes of Benjamin. So when we talk Afghan, we're talking Benjamin. First published in 1635 in a book called Mashan Afghani, the tradition has it that King Saul has a son called Jeremiah, who also had a son called Afghana. Jeremiah died at about the time of King Saul's death, and Afghana was raised by King David and remained in the royal court during King Solomon's reign. It is one of King Solomon's bonds, Nebuchadnezzar. And what does Jeremiah again have to say about the children returning, seeking HaWah and King David? Is Jeremiah, son of Saul, another witness? Hey, we out of here, baby. I said we out of here, baby. It's too good. It's too good to us, man. It's too good to us now. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 9. But they shall serve HaWah their God and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. We're talking latter days. Yeah, another witness that David will be raised up. Another witness that you're going to seek the Creator by keeping the code. And David your king or Khan, right? Another witness. We're talking Jeremiah. Raised by David. That's why he's talking about David. Khan. Shout out to Drop Chatter. Chatter. We appreciate y'all for all this drop, man, that y'all dropping on the daily. And even when I'm, absent or, just popping off, man, y'all still in here. And I come in here and I get this drop from y'all. Tecumseh Panther, what it do, man. Shabbat Shalom. Ahab, man. Tracy Leck. Again, man. I'm going to make sure that Tracy Leck's PDFs, I think I put some on Prester 2. I want to make sure all these on Prester Pack 3, man, because she put so much work into these PDFs. Ahab to the great Khan, Tracy Leck. She said, Shalom, drop. I sent you an email. Okay, I'm going to check that, Tracy. Thank you, man, because you've been dropping so much beautiful drop, man. And hey. hey. I got some of it up, but, this drop here says 432 PDFs are full of not only the drop links that we shared, throughout the investigation, but the sister got her own research, Hebrew research, enlightenment. This is like its own pack, man, for real. And it got just so much drop. So, man, like all the great PDFs along the way, man. The sister went to the top, and she just shared and PDF to make sure it was all good, man. So we gotta make sure we got all this in the drop library too. You know what I mean? She got links 1, links 2. She got the maps drops. She got Rodinia. We've been talking about Rhoda a lot, but what does Rhoda got to do with Rodinia, man? That's kind of interesting, right? Rodinia. What is Rodinia? Man, meaning motherland, birthplace. Whoa. Pangea, supercontinent, right? Before the flood, you got Lemuria, you got everything connected. So when they say Rhoda, Kingdom of Rhoda, also think about Rodinia. And the Queen Tracy, man, I got a few of these up, but she been dropping that drop, man. Selling of Joseph, man. Oh, This is when he breaking down these Ethiopians, man. I love that she's man. I just really appreciate this because they take so much away from our investigation, right? Samuel Sewall over here in the 1700s loved to let us find the truth for originally dropping this. He says, man, these Ethiopians, he's talking about America, right? And, man, for the dismount, what'd he say? Oh, they're talking about their new tune. It is observable that the Israelites were strictly forbidden the buying and selling of one another, and God gauged his blessing in lieu of any loss they might conceit they suffered thereby. Deuteronomy 15. All right, and since the partition wall is broken down, we're talking about niggas in America. Let's go. Inordinate self-love should likewise be demolished. God expects that Christians should be of a more ingenuous and benign frame of spirit. Christians should carry it out all over the world as the Israelites were to carry it one towards another. You're supposed to be doing this, keeping the code one towards another. And for men obstinately to persist in holding their neighbors and brethren under the rigor of perpetual bondage seems to be no proper way of gaining assurance that God has given them spiritual freedom. Our blessed Savior, they're talking JC, has altered the measures of the ancient love song. What does that mean? Who is their blessed Savior? Christian Savior, right? So their Christ has now changed your frequency, has altered the measures of the ancient love song and set it to a most excellent new tune. Who told them to alter the ancient love song and set it to a new tune? Who told them to do that? Who authorized this frequency shift? Their blessed Savior has altered the measures of the ancient love song? What? What does it mean? And set it to a new tune, which ought to be ambitious of learning? What? Then it says, these Ethiopians, talking about Americans, right? These Ethiopians, as black as they are, seeing that they are the sons and daughters of the first Adam, which means what? That they must not be sons and daughters of the first Adam, which means that they're not a part of the original creation, which means that the Creator did not personally create these hijacks because they're not daughters and sons of the first Adam. The brethren and sister of the last Adam, we're talking Noah now, right? Or Cox, and the offspring of HaWah, they ought to be treated with respect agreeable. So they over here talking about you Ethiopians and black as you are, copper color naga found here. They love the Tracy Led. All these documents are amazing. I love the sweat hypothesis. We're going to get back in Flat Drop 101, man. Shalom. The water Tracy Led. The water to you, Drop Nation, for surfing this wave with us, man. And, maybe we'll get out of here just looking at a few of these drops on the IG flow. Love to all the cons dropping it on IG. What we got here, man? Let's see what we got.
Things humans should never have seen.
Y'all keep it on mute, man.
What hides the clock?
Y'all let me know if you got this math drop, man. Let's get real mathy with the clock. Remember Tesla said, man, if you understand the secrets of the universe, then you're understanding numbers 3, 6, and 9. What does it mean? You're on the clock, right? You're on the clock, right? 13th tribe of Moshe, the curved, curved lines. What does it mean? I'm going quickly, man. Oh, man, yeah. I'm going to let y'all check some of this stuff out yourself. I don't even want, But they got these politicians in Canada walking around in high heels doing rituals, man. It's crazy talk. Hey, make sure y'all hit up the Soul Bone podcast, man. And, make sure you hit us up. That's how you going to, follow all the drop that we're going to be dropping over there connected with the Soul Bone podcast, man, on IG, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gotta watch out for these AIs because we got like Ike Turner AIs. I call this AI AI Ike. This is AI Ike Turner. Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake, eat the cake, eat the cake, anime. Yeah, it's not even funny, man. It's this is what's happening. It's not funny. Man, love to the Khan, Heya El Khan, man, for dropping this or redropping this, man. Virginia Indians may be classified with Negro race. The Chickahomie Indians in New Kent County have become disturbed over the possibility that they will be classified as Negroes in the 1930 census. So, if all the Virginia Indians were classified as Negroes, who are they today? Because surely these tribes today don't call themselves Negroes, nor would they be classified as Negroes, which lets you know what the real Virginia Indians are looking like. Again, we're talking Noah's Ark, right? North Carolina, Virginia, Appalachia. Oh, man, we surfing away, man. It's so much drive we've been driving. I just want to leave y'all with this. I think this is something real positive, man. When you understand energy, frequency, and vibration.
Battery packs in the human body. On one side, it's how many electrons are we putting in. And there are a lot of electron donors. Electron donors can be getting out in the sun, can be walking barefoot in the grass. It can be leaning up your body up against a tree because the tree has electrons and will donate them to you. Hugging an animal, a common way that makes people in nursing homes feel better is to buy them a dog or a cat. They hold the dog or the cat and get electrons from it. The animal runs outside and recharges itself and brings some back to you. Moving water is an electron donor, whereas still water tends to be an electron stealer. Moving air is an electron stealer. That's why when you ride in a convertible, you look really cool, but you're always tired when you get there because the wind steals electrons from you.
Yeah, but I think it depends on your hair. I think, this coiled up hair will conserve those electrons a little better than other types, right? But let's go.
On one hand, we look at what things can put electrons in the body, and then what things steal them. And again, the most common stealers are dental infections, emotional baggage, various toxins, particularly the toxins that we are getting from things like GMO foods.
Or whatever they're spraying their airplanes, all this white stuff, chemicals, and whatever they're putting in the tenderonis. Let's go.
And pesticides and other kinds of things, air pollution. There's a lot of toxins around us. And of course, one can almost include in the concept emotional baggage. They're toxins in a different way. They rob us of voltage that we should be using for something else.
And some people like to rob you by using their emotional baggage. They'll bring this around their friends. They'll bring this around, just random people, and they'll dump their baggage, emotions, and their unresolved issues, from whatever, and family this and family that, and everyone's picking on them, and they're always a victim. And what does it do? It robs you of your electrons. These people are energy stealers. These people are vampires. Watch out for these vampires stealing your frequency. They didn't come here to charge you up. They came here to dump their baggage on you and steal your energy and leave you depleted like a vampire.
Battery packs in the human body. On one side, it's how many electrons are we putting in. And there are a lot of electron donors. Electron donors can be getting out in the sun, can be walking barefoot in the grass.
Top of the soul.
It can be leaning up your body up against a tree because the tree has electrons and will donate them to you. Hugging an animal, a common way that makes people in nursing homes feel better is to buy them a dog or a cat.
Or a dragon, How much electrons you going to get from your dragon?
They hold the dog or the cat and get electrons from it. The animal runs outside and recharges itself and brings some back to you. Moving water is an electron donor.
Moving water. Bruce Lee said, be water. Keep the water flowing is what we say.
Whereas still water tends to be an electron stealer. Moving air is an electron stealer. That's why when you ride in a convertible, you look really cool, but you're always tired when you get there because the wind steals electrons from you.
Okay.
On one hand, we look at what things can put electrons in the body, and then what things steal them. And again, the most common stealers are dental infections, emotional baggage, various topics.
And whatever, I don't really trust these dentists with all their fillings and stuff. Like, are they stealing electrons from us, man?
Toxins, particularly the toxins that we are getting from things like GMO foods and
cloned animals, all this stuff like that, right? All this pesticides, all this Monsantos, and you already know.
Pesticides and other kinds of things, air pollution, there's a lot of toxins around us. And of course, one can almost include in the concept emotional baggage. There are toxins in a different way, and they rob us of voltage that we should be using for something.
Voltage, energy, frequency, emotional. Remember, you've been in solitary many days because you robbed HaWah of the electrons, of the energy, the frequency. So now we've been robbed. Now we've been lonely. Now we've been solitary, boss. Now we've been solitary, man, many days, man. And as we come out of solitary, just remember, man, living alone for us, living without the Creator is my little homie popping off. Living without the Creator, man, it's not an option anymore. We're coming out of solitary. We back in our energy, frequency, and vibration, and don't let nobody steal that from you no more. Control your own emotional baggage, like we say, tribe up with yourself first. Get to know yourself, man. Meditate on those things you're working on before you drop them on somebody and say, I'm tribing up with y'all. You need to tribe up with yourself because you're stealing our energy. Even if you don't mean to. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that on nobody. We all need work, right? We all got to work this out so we can get out of solitary because we've gone many days without a con. We've been in solitary. But hey, we gonna come out of our bondage. HaWah gonna break that yoke. HaWah gonna break the yoke from off our neck. Burst your bands. That means you free. And the strangers shall no more make you their slaves. The strangers shall no more have to drop on us. We gonna be the head and not the tail. That is HaWah's word. And we shall serve HaWah our power. And David our God, whom I will raise up unto them. Our queens, our kings are united. And so are we in HaWah. We are united in code. We are no longer in solitary. Why not? Not when you are searching and seeking and meditating on the law, the code, the commandments of HaWah, who is forever. The water, HaWah, for this frequency, and the water to you, drop for surfing the wave. This has been the 121st installment of the Prester John investigation. Stay up, suit up, choose up. Call me Hano. Call me Hano. Press the 1010. It's beautiful when we do it again and did it again and did it again. We already home, cuz. Hey, keep surfing the wave. Shalom to the tribe.